Welcome to Quick MCAT Lessons, where I try to explain MCAT topics in 10 minutes or less. Today, we're going to be going over some practice questions regarding the digestive system. So, number 1, which of the following association correctly matches a gastric cell with a compound it secretes? A. G cells and HCl. B. Chief cells and pepsinogen. C. Parietal cells and alkaline mucus. Or D. Mucus cells and intrinsic factor. And recall that chief cells secrete pepsinogen, so the correct answer is B. Number 2. Which of the following is not part of the small intestine? The ileum, the cecum, the jejunum, or the duodenum? And this is easy, it is the cecum. Number 3. In an experiment, enteropeptidase secretion was blocked. As a direct result, all of the following active enzymes would likely be affected except trypsin, aminopeptidase, chymotrypsin, or carboxypeptidase A. And the answer here is aminopeptidase. As you may recall, trypsin, chymotrypsin, and carboxypeptidase A are all affected by enteropeptidase. Number 4. Which of the following incorrectly pairs a digestive hormone with its function? So trypsin hydrolyzes specific peptide bonds. Lactase hydrolyzes lactose to get glucose and galactose. Pancreatic amylase hydrolyzes starch to maltose. Or lipase emulsifies fats. And so this is a little tricky, but lipase is involved in the digestion of fats, but its function is not to emulsify fats. That's the job of bile. Rather, lipase chemically digests fats in the duodenum, allowing them to be brought into duodenal cells and packaged into chylomicrons. Number 5. Which of the following correctly lists 2 organs in which proteins are digested? The mouth and stomach, the stomach and large intestine, the stomach and small intestine, or the small intestine and large intestine? And here we should know it's the stomach and small intestine. Proteins aren't digested in the large intestine, and they aren't digested in the mouth. Number 6. Which of the following choices incorrectly pairs a digestive enzyme with its site of secretion? So you have A. Sucrase in salivary glands. B. Carboxypeptidase in pancreas. C. Trypsin in pancreas. And D. Lactase and duodenum. And this is obvious. The answer is A. Sucrase in salivary glands. Salivary glands produce saliva. Number 7. A 2-week-old infant is brought to the emergency room. His mother reports that he has been unable to keep any milk down. Shortly after he nurses, he has sudden projectile vomiting. And during exam, an olive-shaped mass can be felt in the upper abdomen. It is determined that there is a constriction in the digestive system that prevents food from reaching the small intestine from the stomach. Which structure is most likely the site of the problem? The cardiac sphincter, the pyloric sphincter, the ileocecal valve, or the internal anal sphincter? Now obviously it's not the internal anal sphincter. The ileocecal valve is the valve between the ileum and the cecum of the small and large intestine, so it's not that. The cardiac sphincter is the lower esophageal sphincter, so it's not that. The correct answer is the pyloric sphincter, which is the sphincter between the stomach and the small intestine. Moving on to number 8. Many medications have anticholinergic side effects. This blocks the activity of parasympathetic neurons throughout the body. Older individuals may be on many such medications simultaneously, exacerbating the side effects. Which of the following would not be expected in an individual taking medications with anticholinergic activity? A. Dry mouth. B. Diarrhea. C. Slow gastric emptying. Or D. Decreased gastric acid production. And so it's saying what would not be expected if you are blocking parasympathetic neurons. And we know that the parasympathetic neurons control a lot of things in digestion, including saliva, so dry mouth is out of the picture, and including gastric emptying and gastric acid production. So C and D are out. The answer is diarrhea, because the parasympathetic system does not control that. That is just absorption. Number 9. Which of the following is not an effective gastrin? A. promotes parietal cell atrophy, B, decreased stomach pH, C, activates chief cells, or D, indirectly stimulates protein degradation. And so gastrin activates chief cells and parietal cells. By activating chief cells, it activates pepsinogen, which also stimulates protein degradation, so C and D are out. And it activates parietal cells, which secrete hydrochloric acid, so B is out because it decreases stomach pH. The correct answer here is promotes parietal cell atrophy, as when it's activating these cells, you're not atrophying, and so A is the one that is not an effective gastrin. Number 10. A defect in pancreatic amylase would prevent digestion of which of the following nutrients? Starch, maltose, fructose, or proteins? And the answer is starch, because recall maltose and fructose are degraded by disaccharides or maltase and fructase, and starch is the only carb left. Proteins are not degraded by amylase, and so starch is the correct answer. Number 11. In which organ is bile produced? For this one, I hope you said the liver. Number 12. Which of these is a precursor for bile? Fatty acids, cholesterol, carbohydrates, or proteins? And for this one, the answer is cholesterol. Number 13. A patient has a history of gallstones and has their gallbladder removed. They will now have problems in the digestion of starch, lipids, carbohydrates, or proteins. And the answer here is lipids, because the gallbladder stores bile, and that is what is used to digest lipids. Number 14. Where are water and salt primarily absorbed in the digestive system? And for this one, I hope you said the colon. Number 15. A patient with celiac disease shows classic symptoms of weight loss due to decreased absorption of nutrients. This is the result of damage to which structure in the small intestine? The parietal cells, the intestinal glands, the intestinal villi, or chief cells? And the correct answer here is intestinal villi. In celiac disease, the intestinal villi are damaged, which lead to the reduction in the surface area for the absorption of food and a decrease in digestion, which leads to diarrhea and weight loss. Number 16. In GERD, the cardiac sphincter functioning is affected. What will be the negative consequence of the weakened cardiac sphincter? A. The contents of the stomach move into the esophagus. B. The contents of the esophagus move into the stomach. C. The contents of the stomach move into the small intestine. Or D. The contents of the small intestine move into the stomach. And this one should be pretty basic. It is A. The contents of the stomach move into the esophagus. And last question here. What is secreted by the chief cells of the stomach? Intrinsic factor, pepsinogen, mucus, or hydrochloric acid? And the answer is pepsinogen. And actually, I lied. There's just one more question. Blocking the common bile duct will not cause which of the following problems? A. We will be deficient in breaking down lipids, carbohydrates, or proteins. B. We will not be able to emulsify fats. C. The contents of the small intestine will be acidic. Or D. Insulin levels in the body will chronically elevate. And the correct answer is D. This is because hormones like insulin are released into the bloodstream, and so blocking the bile duct will not elevate insulin levels. And now that's it for today. I haven't decided on what topic I'm going to do next, but I'll see you next time.